Now our next step is the highlight on the top of this cube. And for that we just want to add a little bit more white to our base tone so that it distinguishes itself from the other two sides. Okay, now we have a cube that has been created in value, but this cube, as I said before, has a pattern on it. And now we want to start thinking about that pattern. Now the pattern is lights and darks, and the pattern follows some of the shapes of that cube. So we're going to take some of the same darks that we used before. The pattern looks like it's in the same family of colors. So I'll start doing stuff like this. And I'm starting with the darks. I could do the lights as easily as the darks, but I just happen to have the dark on this brush. And now I want to do some of the lights the same way. Change those lights around so that we've established the pattern. But it's important to remember that you want to have the pattern secondary to the form. Form is more important than the pattern. The form should dominate. If it doesn't, you'll lose the illusion of the cube altogether. But I want to move to the background and establish the strong green that we've got in the background. So, starting with the cadmium green. This is not the color of that background, but it's close. What that background is what looks like it has a little bit of violet in it in addition to the green. Leaning this color sort of to the blue side by adding a violet to it. And I'm using a big brush to cover this area quickly. Many people, many students, are alarmed by a brush of this size, and we'll try to paint this whole area using a small brush. And it's sort of a long way around. Although it works, it wears out your brush and it wears out your hand at the same time. Now I'm going to try to correct my drawing at this stage by making a very fine edge. Slow down the brush. Make sure the brush has got lots of paint on it. All right, now watch this. You see that? That's the dry brush we don't want. I need more paint in my brush. And that's what we do want, like that. Okay, now I've got a few corrections in the direction of my brushstroke. If your brushstrokes go in different directions, in different lights, they will show up as different colors. So especially on a flat blend like this, flat area like this, it's important to comb your brushstrokes out. It makes for a more even tone overall. And I'll bring this value right up next to where my other value is, but I won't do anything with it until I've laid all of this on. Sometimes people want to make that blend too soon, and if they do make it too soon, then they have to clean their brush or they run out of paint or something like that. It's better to lay all your colors in and manipulate them afterwards is to try to do it as you go. All right, now it's time for the cast shadows of all these objects so that they end up sitting on the surface. Now, if if I were mixing green here, you know that the cast shadow of green is red, but unfortunately, red and green are very close to the same value, so it doesn't actually darken it very much. So I'm going to take that green and I'm going to add some more violet to it and some red to it. The violet is the darkest color of the spectrum, so I want to add some of that to this green. I want to add some red to neutralize that. And it looks like I need more violet. All right, it's impossible to see a color out of its own context. So if you see an orange on a white canvas, that orange might look wrong to you, but once you put in all the other colors around it, that orange could be just the color you wanted all along. And you need to see the other colors in there before you can make that decision. So everything must be painted once before anything is painted twice.